Hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to Ridgeview High School, where Henley boys basketball kicks off the 2024 leg of the 23-24 season by playing upper class for the third time this season against the 5A Ravens. They do so shorthanded without Marcus McCready and TJ Chavez once again, as those two still working their way back from injuries. We will get into that and a lot more. The preceding JV game went long, so we've got about 15 minutes until tip-off here on mybasin.com and 104.3 and 960 Sports. We'll take a break. Pre-game show on the other side. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
At about 12 and a half minutes until tip-off here at Ridgeview between the Ravens and the Hornets. I am Matt Bowling. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight up here in Redmond. We want to let you know that as you wait for this Henley game to get started, the Henley girls are in action over at Lakeview. That game is being live streamed on mybasin.com. Josh Eldridge is on the call, and the Hornets are trailing 16-14 in the second quarter. So tight game over on our other live stream here on mybasin.com. But looking at this one, Henley coming in 7-2. They went 1-2, or 7-4, excuse me. They went 1-2 at the Sisters Shootout last weekend, playing without Marcus McCready and TJ Chavez. McCready had an injury the day before Henley's opening game in the Sisters Shootout against Madras. TJ Chavez did play in that Madras game, but was re-injured. He was initially hurt against Marist Catholic at the Marist Classic on December 8th. That was his return from injury, and really tough blow for him to be re-injured in that game. Hornets went on to lose that game 54-49 to Madras. The next day they lost 67-50 to Junction City, but on Saturday they were able to end on a positive note. They beat Sweet Home 45-32. And Henley head coach Luke Hammond said that a lot of things that the Hornets worked on in that Sweet Home game, they're going to try to do tonight. They're going to try to come in with more of a full court press defensively, speed things up offensively, try to get them in transition. It's definitely not going to be easy with the Hornets working with essentially a 7-player rotation. Although Ridgeview only lists 10 players on their varsity roster. And at first glance, that seems to be about how many they have out there warming up. So If the Hornets are able to get the Ravens in some foul trouble early, that could potentially even things up. Although foul trouble has not been kind to the Hornets in some of their opening games, especially in some of their other 5A games. The Hornets are 0-2 against 5A teams this season. They lost 58-45 at Caldera on December 20th and 70-48 at Redmond on December 6th. In both of those games, Henley got into foul trouble. It allowed the opponents to go on pretty big runs and put the game more or less out of reach for Henley. Meanwhile, you look at Ridgeview. They come in 6-3, coming off a 5th place finish at the SCTC Holiday Classic last week. They played all 4A teams in that tournament. Their opening game, they lost 63-61 to Marshfield. They beat Gladstone, though, 71-44 in their consolation round game. And then in the 5th place game, they beat Staten 55-45. Now, that's Marshfield is going to end up being a common opponent for Henley and Ridgeview because Henley plays Marshfield this Saturday at the Skyline crossover at Junction City. We will have live coverage of that game on mybasin.com. It's a 2 p.m. tip-off. Due to a conflict with Oregon Tech women's basketball, that game will not air on 104.3 and 960 Sports. It will be a video stream only on mybasin.com. Again, 2 p.m. tip-off. But getting back to Ridgeview, this is one of the younger programs in Oregon, younger schools in Oregon. The school opened in 2012. The Ravens basketball team has had only 2 winning seasons in their existence and only 4 seasons with 10 wins or more. Their best season in program history, they went 17-8 in 2015. Last year, they went 13-11, or excuse me, 2022, they went 13-11. Last year, they were 7-17. So they can match last year's win total with a win over Henley today. And a large part of that turnaround is due to them bringing in Marty Lunan, first-year head coach. He spent the previous 2 as an assistant at his alma mater, Redmond. And if you're an Oregon native, the name Marty Lunan should be pretty familiar to you. He led Redmond to a 4A state championship in 2003, took them back to the title game, but came up short in 2004. He went on to earn all Pac-10 honors at Oregon. He was a second-round draft pick of the Houston Rockets in 2008, but he never played in an NBA game. Instead, he spent 13 years playing in Europe with stops in Turkey, Italy, and Germany. So he brings a wealth of high-level basketball experience with him to Ridgeview, and it's already getting pretty good results for the Ravens. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll do a bit of a deeper dive into how Henley did at the Sisters Shootout last weekend. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Full and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
And for those of you who may be tuning in expecting tip-off right about now, we've still got a little under 5 minutes to go. The preceding JV game ran long, so we're a little bit behind schedule here. In the meantime, let's take a bit of a deeper look back at Henley's performance at the Sisters Shootout. They lost their opening game last Thursday to Madras. Marcus McCready did not play in that game as he was injured the day before. TJ Chavez played for a little bit and ended up re-injuring himself. Tough blow for him. Henley going on to lose 54-49. Hornets had their opportunities, though, in the final 2 minutes. They cut the lead to 51-46 with 1:48 left in the game, but they went on to miss 4 consecutive free throws and turn the ball over on a traveling violation. Still, Lane Frank hit a 3 to pull them back within 52-49 with 29.6 seconds remaining. White Buffaloes turned it over on a double dribble on the inbound, but Henley kind of rushed into a contested 3, 15 seconds on the clock, came up short. Madras got the rebound, made both free throws with 9 seconds left to seal the game. That's a matchup that Henley probably wins at full strength 9 times out of 10, really probably 10 times out of 10, but just a really tough break for Henley having to go in shorthanded. Now, the next night, Friday, they played Junction City, number 1 ranked team in 4A. Actually hung with the Tigers. They trailed 18-10 after the first quarter, pulled back to within 26-24 with 2:43 left in the second. They got outscored, though, 9-0 the rest of the half. Trailed 35-24 at the break. They played them even in the third, 14-14, but just kind of ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. Ended up losing 67-50. Now, on Saturday, they did get the win over Sweet Home. Controlled the game pretty well most of the game. They led 13-8 after the opening frame, used an 11-0 run to go up 27-12 with 1:34 left in the half. Sweet Home did cut it to 27-16 at the break. Third quarter, bit of a rock fight. Both teams made 2 field goals. Henley took a 33-25 lead into the fourth. Sweet Home got to within 6, 15 seconds in, but the Hornets held them scoreless for the next 4 minutes and 37 seconds, pushed the lead to 15, ended up winning 45-32. So good for Henley to be able to go in and get a win shorthanded, even hanging with Junction City while playing with a 7-man rotation was pretty good for the Hornets. We'll see what they can do tonight against a 5A opponent. If they can come in and get their first win over a 5A team all season. All right, we got one more break to take. Tip-off on the other side. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
All right, we are just about ready for tip-off here at Ridgeview. They're going through the PA announcements. Once again, I'm Matt Bowling. First game of 2024 for Henley as they play up a classification for the third time. All of them have been on the road. Lost 70-48 at Redmond on December 6th and 58-45 at Caldera on December 20th. Hornets come in 7-4, Ridgeview 6-3. Ridgeview has a chance to match last season's win total with a win tonight. And they're going to play the national anthem, so we will step aside.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back. Going through starting lineups right now. For Henley, it's their default 7-player starting lineup here with Aiden Hayes, Owen Harper, Chris Janney, Luke Bennett, and Bryson Montag. Only Montag is not a usual starter for Henley. He's replacing Marcus McCready. And for Ridgeview, it's Zach Asplund, Logan Nakamura, Brady Meilenberg, Adam Millington, and Ryan Lee. Well, they've dimmed the lights here at Ridgeview. Seen a few high schools back in Oklahoma do that, but none here in Oregon. Great to see them making a show of it. Ridgeview also has a pep band, and that's the first time this season that we've seen a pep band at any of these schools. Once again, Matt Bowling here with you at Ridgeview High School. Both of these schools trying to start the new year off with a win. And we are just about ready to get underway with tip-off here. Hornets in their road yellow uniforms, Ravens in their home whites. And it's going to be Brady Meilenberg against Owen Harper for the tip-off. Teams getting set, officials jogging out onto the court. Once again, the Henley girls are also playing on mybasin.com tonight. They are at Lakeview. Josh Eldridge is on the call for that one. Ridgeview wins the tip-off, and we are underway as Asplund brings it across half court. On the left wing with it is Nakamura. Nakamura moving over to the right lane and driving, and an easy bucket for Logan Nakamura. It's 2-0 Ridgeview, 7:45 to go in the first quarter. Henley throws it to Montag in the left corner. Montag dribbles in along the baseline and finds the answer. 2-2, 7:35 to go in the first quarter. Henley, full court press. Ridgeview beats it, and it results in a layup on the other end for Ryan Lee. 4-2, 7:25 to go in the first quarter. Ridgeview ahead. Bennett on the left side. Guarded tightly by Asplund. Throws it to Montag on the left wing. They go up top to Harper, who has it batted out of his hands, has to retreat across half court to get the ball back. Now throws it to Montag, cutting through the right lane and scoring. 4-4, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. A flurry of offense early. Asplund across half court on the right side. Dribbles it over to the center circle. They throw it to Meilenberg on the left wing. Now it's Lee. On the right side, Nakamura. Up top, Ryan Lee. Back to Nakamura on the right wing. He hands it to Zach Asplund. Asplund dribbles back toward midcourt. Shot clock at 4. Asplund has to go here. He has it stolen by Montag. Goes down, gets the ball back, but it's going to be a shot clock violation. Nice play by Bryson Montag. He averaged 3 steals at the Sisters shootout last weekend. One of Henley's better defenders. Chris Janney checked full court by Nakamura. He's able to get it across, but loses the dribble, and it goes out of bounds on the left side. It'll be Ridgeview ball. Brady Meilenberg inbounds it to Zach Asplund. It's still 4-4 with 6:10 to go in the first quarter. Asplund on the right side. Advancing, kicking to Meilenberg in the right corner, gets it back. Dribbles inside, throws it to Nakamura on the left wing. Nakamura throws it to Lee in the left corner, gets it back. Nakamura with space, pulls up, misses a 3. Rebounded on the left block by Aiden Hayes. Hayes dribbles it, looking to get a fast break going here, and Aiden Hayes goes coast to coast. 6-4, Henley leads, 5:35 to go in the first quarter. Top of the key 3 is off the mark from Meilenberg. Went off the back of the rim, and it's rebounded by Owen Harper. Gives it to Aiden Hayes, who brings it across midcourt on the left side. Hayes just inside the top of the key. Tried to hand it off to Bennett. He lost it for a moment, recovered it. Bennett drives, has it blocked in the paint by Ryan Lee. Lee, outlet pass to Asplund, dribbling in from the left side of the baseline, throws it up in traffic, misses, but the putback is there for Adam Millington. We are tied at 6 with 5:02 to go in the first quarter. Janney traveled as he ran into Adam Millington on the left side. Another turnover for Henley. Asplund bringing it up court. Now across the timeline. Asplund to Lee in the right corner. Chucks it back up top. It's tipped, but it comes back to Asplund. He goes to Nakamura in the left corner, and the three rolls in and out. But there with the putback attempt is Millington. He misses. Another putback drops for Ryan Lee, and Ridgeview takes an 8-6 lead with 4:30 to go in the first quarter. Luke Bennett on the left side. Hands it to Chris Janney behind him. Janney guarded by Millington. They throw it to Aiden Hayes on the free throw line. He kicks it out to Montag on the left wing. Montag dribbles in and scores. And Ridgeview's going to call a timeout as Henley ties it back up at 8. 4:10 to go in the first quarter. We'll take one, too. Matt Bowling, you're watching Henley basketball on mybasin.com and listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Before sending it ahead to Ryan Lee. Very nearly a turnover for Ridgeview, but they get it back with Nakamura dribbling in the left corner. Sends it back to Meilenberg. Over on the other side, Ryan Lee. Lee dribbles toward the top of the key, hands it to Millington. Adam Millington directing traffic. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Asplund lost it on the drive, went out of bounds. It'll be Henley ball. Henley defense has really shown up early. Lane Frank, who's into the game for the first time for Henley, is pressured by Nakamura. Both sides going with a little bit of full court press as Luke Bennett is fouled on the far sideline. That's the first foul of the game, and it comes at 3:26 to go in the first quarter with the score tied at 8. Frank in the right slot to Bennett in the right corner, and Bennett travels. That is the third turnover in the front court for Henley on some kind of violation so far. Up top with it is Millington. He throws to Asplund on the left wing. Near the left corner, Brady Meilenberg back up top to Asplund, who drives, kicks it to Ryan Lee for a right corner three that won't go. Millington grabs the rebound. The putback won't fall. And finally, Montag comes up with the defensive board for Henley. Aiden Hayes dribbling it in the right short corner. He's trapped, and finally the whistle blows. It's a tie-up, and the possession arrow points to Henley. Joe Janney checks in for Owen Harper as Luke Bennett will inbound from the right side underneath the basket. At the top of the key, Bryson Montag. Right corner three, Luke Bennett. Too long. Kept alive by Joe Janney. Bennett with it again at the top of the key. He shakes the defender. Misses the three off the front of the rim. Rebounded and brought up court by Meilenberg. Left slot, Nakamura dribbles to the right elbow. Gives it to Asplund on the right wing. Open in the left corner, but missing the three was Meilenberg, and it's rebounded by Montag. Montag dishes to Joe Janney. Janney drives, too strong on the layup attempt. Asplund collects the rebound. Outlet pass ahead to Ryan Lee, who drives along the baseline, misses the layup, but getting the putback and one is Brady Meilenberg. Ridgeview takes a 10-8 lead. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. They'll have a chance to add to it on a Meilenberg free throw. Meilenberg standing 6'6". Would have been a great matchup with Marcus McCready if he was available for Henley tonight. But as it stands, He's likely to get a lot of the paint touches for Ridgeview. And he makes the free throw to give the Ravens an 11-8 lead. As Aiden Hayes tried to answer on the other end but was stripped. It goes out of bounds after being batted a couple of times. And Henley's going to have it in the front court with Aiden Hayes set to inbound it on the baseline. Well, never mind. They'll send Luke Bennett into inbound as Chris Janney checks back in for Bryson Montag. Bennett inbounding from the right side, goes to Hayes in the paint. Hayes kicks out to Janney on the left side. Up top, Joe Janney. Right wing three for Lane Frank is off the mark and rebounded. And take up the other way. This is Jackson Hurtley, and he is fouled on the left block. It's going to be the second foul of the game on Luke Bennett. He's got both Henley fouls. The count this quarter is now 2-1 in favor of Ridgeview. On the inbound, they get it to Whitmer. He misses point blank. It's tipped out to Brady Meilenberg at the top of the key. 1:30 to go in the first quarter. They give it to Zach Asplund. Asplund over to Whitmer, right wing. Back up top. Asplund, left wing three, connects. 14-8, Ridgeview leads, 1:11 to go in the first quarter. Hayes almost lost it between the circles, gets it to Janney. Chris Janney kicks it to Joe Janney in the left corner. Joe Janney puts it up in the paint. He might have had that one partially blocked. Wes Whitmer comes down with the rebound. 51 seconds to go. Jackson Hurtley kicks it to Zach Asplund. They try to throw it in the paint, and it's taken away by Montag. Montag swatted. Oh my, what a block by Wes Whitmer on the right side as Montag tried the layup. 42.4 seconds to go. Henley will inbound on the right side. Hornets trailing 14-8 here in the first quarter. Joe Janney up top to Lane Frank with space on the right wing. Three goes in and out. Rebounded by Meilenberg. 30 seconds to go. Gets it over to Asplund. Asplund dribbles it to the left wing. Now back up to the top of the key. He loses it off his foot, and that's going to be a backcourt violation. Chris Janney was applying pressure there, and he's a bit fired up after causing that turnover. Luke Bennett checking in for Joe Janney. Joe Janney just returning from an injury last weekend at the Sisters shootout. Luke Hammond said he hasn't had a lot of time to get fully conditioned yet, so they can only really play him in short spurts. Broke his thumb in the state championship football game. They kick to Lane Frank on the right side, gets it to Bennett in the right slot. 9 seconds to go, and Wes Whitmer commits a foul, pressuring Luke Bennett. 8.1 seconds on the clock. That's the first foul on Whitmer. And Luke Bennett will inbound in front of the Ravens bench. Gets it to Lane Frank, 7 seconds to go. Frank looking, Bennett in the right corner, 3 seconds, has it poked out of bounds, 2.2 seconds on the clock. Henley's essentially going to have to do a catch and shoot here on the inbound. Luke Bennett will inbound on the right side. Bennett looking, gets it to Frank. Frank shakes the defender, pulls up and connects. Lane Frank with a buzzer-beating three, and that one was deep from the right wing. Great way to end the first quarter for Henley. They cut Ridgeview's lead to 14-11. We'll be right back. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined Me as a person, I love to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the second quarter here at Ridgeview. Henley trailing the 5A Ravens 14-11. Lane Frank with a buzzer-beating three to end the first quarter. He hit 7 threes over his last 2 games at the Sisters Shootout last weekend. And he hit a big one there to get this to a one-possession game at the start of the second. Henley once again missing Marcus McCready and TJ Chavez, but the Hornets are hanging tough against the 5A Ravens. Gavin Lunan inbounds it to Logan Nakamura, and we are underway here in the second. Whitmer on the right wing. Chucks it down to Nakamura in the left corner. Nakamura sends it back to Whitmer on the right wing. Dribbles in. Again, Nakamura. Pass was low, otherwise he would have had a wide open shot. Right corner three is too short for Wes Whitmer. It's rebounded and taken the other way by Aiden Hayes. Hayes spinning, driving through the lane, through 3 defenders, layup won't fall. Rebounded by Gavin Lunan, taken the other way. Up to Nakamura. Nakamura driving through the left lane, turnaround jumper, swish. 16-11. Ridgeview leads, 7:12 to go in the second quarter. Lane Frank dribbles it across half court, whips it over to Aiden Hayes on the left side. Hayes on the left wing, throws it to Lane Frank at the free throw line. It's stolen by Nakamura. Nakamura finishes the contested layup. And that's 4 quick points, for Ridgeview. 18-11, Ravens lead, 6:45 to go in the second quarter. Underneath pass off target, intended for Montag. It rolls out of bounds on the near sideline, and it'll go back to the Ravens. Logan Nakamura. Down in the left corner, now across court into the right corner for Whitmer. Left wing three is missed by Nakamura. Kept alive, though. Rebounded by Hurtley before it went out of bounds. Now Nakamura again. Kicks it to Hurtley in the left corner, and he makes the three. It's a 7-0 run for Ridgeview to start the second quarter. 6:10 to go. Ravens lead 21-11. Wes Whitmer commits the foul in the Henley front court. That's his second, first of the quarter. And Lane Frank will inbound it. Frank looking, gets it to Montag. It's almost stolen. Montag throws it to Frank on the left side. Janney, right slot. Chris Janney. Still Chris Janney. He falls down. Able to get the ball to Hayes, though. Hayes, oh my, Aiden Hayes, what a move. Through the trees, finding space for a turnaround shot, and Luke Hammond calls timeout. We'll take 1-2. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952. .5 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the first half.
Henley called timeout after Aiden Hayes scored in the paint to cut Ridgeview's lead to 21-13, ended a 7-0 Ravens run to start the second quarter. Hornets now trailing 21-13. 5:50 to go until halftime. And Gavin Lunan, son of Ridgeview head coach Marty Lunan, inbounds it to Logan Nakamura, and we're back underway. Nakamura brings it across midcourt, throws it to Whitmer on the right side. They go back up top with it. In the left slot, Nakamura dribbles to the top of the key, throws it to Whitmer, but an offensive foul is called on the Ravens. Second foul of the quarter on Ridgeview. Henley has yet to be called for one as the inbound is tipped out of bounds. Wes Whitmer applying the full court pressure. It'll stay with Henley. They throw it to Montag. Montag dribbles it across midcourt on the left side. Hands it to Lane Frank. Left corner, drives along the baseline. Was trying to kick it to somebody on the right side, but there was nobody there, and it's taken away by Jackson Hurtley. Nakamura thought about a three from the left wing. Instead, he dribbles it in, and a smooth finish in the paint by Logan Nakamura to put Ridgeview up 23-13 with 5:05 to go in the half. Lane Frank to Chris Janney on the left wing. Chris Janney guarded tightly by Hurtley, hands it to Lane Frank behind him. Hurtley switches onto him, gets it over to Aiden Hayes. Hayes, pass too soft and taken away. Easy layup on the other end for Jackson Hurtley on the outlet pass. 25-13 Ravens lead, 4:40 to go in the second quarter. Owen Harper on the right, in the right corner, kicks it to Hayes in the paint. He is fouled as he pulled up for a jumper that missed. Aiden Hayes averaged 9.7 points at the Sisters shootout last weekend, and he'll try to get this back to a 10-point game. Third foul of the quarter called against Ridgeview. The first free throw rolls in off the front rim. As a couple subs check in for the Ravens, Zach Asplund and Brady Meilenberg are back in. Second free throw is too short for Hayes, so it's a 25-14 lead for Ridgeview with 4.5 minutes to go until halftime. Nakamura driving left lane, has it stripped. Montag had it poked right back away from him, but it deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Henley. Joe Janney checking in for Owen Harper as Luke Bennett gets set to inbound. Bennett throws it up to Aiden Hayes. Hayes is fouled by Nakamura, who was applying pressure. Well, fourth foul of the quarter called against Ridgeview. One more, and Henley will be in the bonus for the rest of the half. Hayes brings it across midcourt. 4:15 to go. Hornets trailing 25-14. Over to Luke Bennett in the left corner. Bennett trying to create space. Throws it to Joe Janney in the right slot. Now Chris Janney up top. Aiden Hayes left corner. Hayes dribbles it in. Blocked, but fouled by Lunan. Oh. We don't have height measurements for a lot of the Ridgeview players, but Gavin Lunan's got at least a couple inches on Aiden Hayes. Hayes makes the first free throw. And misses the second. Rebound is batted around. Finally, Asplund comes down with it. Henley trailing 25-15, 3:50 to go in the second quarter. Asplund on the left wing. Over to Gavin Lunan. Nakamura from the right corner throws it down low to Meilenberg. Meilenberg is fouled as he went up for the shot, tried to get through three Henley defenders. And Brady Meilenberg will head to the line for two. First foul of the quarter called on Henley. Brady Meilenberg, also a pitcher for the Ridgeview baseball team. He helped the Ravens reach the 5A quarterfinals last spring. And he goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line to put the Ravens up 27-15 with 3:37 to go in the first half. Montag on the left wing, almost stripped by Nakamura. Hayes recovers it though. Hayes loses it, and it's taken away by Henley. Nakamura pass into the right corner is tipped out of bounds by Bennett. Nakamura on the left block, turnaround shot misses, rebounded by Chris Janney. Hayes driving, puts it up in the paint, misses short, but rebounded by Joe Janney. His putback attempt falls short. Ravens the other way. Shot layup rolls off the rim for Jackson Henley. Out of bounds. It'll be Henley ball with 3 minutes even on the clock. Bennett to inbound from the right side. Henley trailing 27-15. Lane Frank getting ready to check back in for the Hornets as Bennett has it poked away from him by Logan Nakamura, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hornets. Bennett inbounding at midcourt. Throws it in to Hayes. Hayes brings it across half court. Hayes dribbling onto the right side, splits the defense, loses it in the paint, and Adam Millington comes down with it but loses it. It results in a shot from Montag that's no good. And finally the Ravens get it back. Outlet pass up to Asplund. They kick it back to Meilenberg on the right wing, and he nails the three. Ravens have their largest lead of the game. It's 30-15 with 2:22 to go. Bennett on the right side, getting the cross-court pass from Hayes. Bennett pulls up from the free throw line and connects. Gets it back to 30-17, 2:05 to go. Asplund brings it across midcourt. Throws it to Meilenberg. Thought about a three, instead dribbles onto the left elbow and misses a two. Rebounded by Luke Bennett, and the Hornets take it back the other way up the right side. Bennett throws it to Joe Janney on the right block. Janney intercepted by Meilenberg, and then Bennett commits a foul. That's going to be the third foul on Luke Bennett, and he'll come out for Owen Harper. 1:45 to go in the second quarter. Hornets still down 30-17. Lee on the right wing, up top, Millington. Left corner three is good for Zach Asplund. 16-point lead for Ridgeview, 33-17, 1:27 to go. Henley nearly turns it over in the backcourt. They get it to Frank. Frank's pass onto the right wing is off target for Owen Harper, and it's another Henley turnover. Zach Asplund bringing it up. Asplund dribbles it onto the right side, kicks it to Lee, gets it back in the right lane. Asplund, offensive foul. He's trying to create some space, and not sure exactly what got him the offensive foul call, but either way, it's Henley ball. They throw it up court to Joe Janney. Joe Janney with a floater in the lane, misses off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Meilenberg and sent ahead to Asplund. Meilenberg gets it back at the top of the key, dribbles through the left lane, misses the layup, tipped out of bounds. It'll be Ridgeview ball. 53.4 seconds to go in the first half. Ravens up 33-17. Zach Asplund throws it to Meilenberg. Right slot, three. bounces in off the front of the rim. Just about everything seems to be going Ridgeview's way this quarter. As Joe Janney's pass is tipped, goes out of bounds. It will stay with Henley. 40.1 seconds on the clock. They throw it to Montag. Aiden Hayes on the left side, or Owen Harper, excuse me. Janney, right slot. Now it's Aiden Hayes in the right corner. He hands it to Lane Frank behind him. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Frank drives in the right lane and misses. Ridgeview gets the rebound. Outlet pass ahead to Millington in the right corner. And Logan Nakamura holds it now on the right wing. Timeout Ravens with 14.3 seconds left in the first half. We'll keep it here. A reminder that we will be bringing you coverage of Henley's game against Marshfield this Saturday in the Sky M Skyline crossover. Hornets will be tipping off at 2 p.m. That game will be video only. It will not air on 104.3 and 960 Sports due to a conflict with Oregon Tech women's basketball. Ridgeview will have the ball coming out of this timeout. They'll inbound from the far sideline. It's going to be Logan Nakamura to take it. Gets it into Asplund. 11 seconds to go. Asplund pressured in the right slot, whips it to Nakamura in the right corner, gets it back. They go over to Meilenberg in the left slot. 3 seconds to go. Asplund for the buzzer beater, and it misses. So that is how we end the first half, with Zach Asplund pulling up from the right wing and missing. But it's still a 21-point lead for Ridgeview, 36-17, as we head to the locker rooms. I'm Matt. We'll take a break, give you a little first half recap on the other side. You're listening to basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sport and watching on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Have blown this game wide open. They have outscored Henley 22-6. in the second quarter. Henley, of course, down to a 7-player rotation, missing their excellent big man Marcus McCready as well as TJ Chavez. It's was always going to be a tough go for the Hornets, who, unless they can stage a truly miraculous comeback, are looking like they're going to fall to 0-3 against 5A opponents this season. Yeah, talking to Luke Hammond, though, before the game, he said the players have really had the right attitude, though. They haven't, in his words, nobody's acting like their dog died. They're working hard in practice. They're determined to go out there and give it their best effort. Unfortunately, when you're playing an already tough opponent and down 2 important players, sometimes your best efforts just aren't quite enough, as the Hornets fall down 21 points here at halftime. Ravens really pushing the pace. Logan Nakamura has been pretty much everywhere for them. And he is a Portland baseball commit, so you see some of that Division I athleticism there. He's really been tough for Henley on defense. Got some buckets on the offensive end as well. A reminder that the Henley girls are also playing tonight. They are playing over at Lakeview. So while the boys play up, the girls play down. Josh Eldridge is on the call for that one, and it looks like Henley's about wrapped that game up. It's 55-46. Hornets leading with just under 30 seconds left in the game. Henley girls, the number 1 team in 4A. They are undefeated and will remain undefeated. It's been a fantastic season for them. They're off to their best start since the 2017-18 season, when they went to the state championship game. Or excuse me, not the 2017-18 season. It was actually the 2016-17 season. Or missed that again. It's it was several years ago. I've misplaced my notes here. I'm sorry. But Henley girls just off to a phenomenal start. And they pulled out a thriller over the defending 3A champion Banks in the last game of the Sisters shootout on Saturday. It was a buzzer-beating 3. Well, not quite a buzzer-beating 3, but a 3 with 2 seconds on the clock that dropped in for Kennedy Modine at the tail end of the game. So with this win at Lakeview, the Henley girls will improve to 12-0. And really, they are so much fun to watch, and we're glad that we've been able to cover a lot of their early games this year. It hasn't been commonplace for us in the past to do Henley basketball games before league play, but we were able to make that change this year, bring you essentially the full schedule, and very glad that we are able to do that, as there have been some excellent performances by both teams in the opening couple months of the season. All right, we're going to take a break. Second half on the other side. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 103 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
I gained 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
You start the second half. Henley trailing 36-17. Henley girls, of course, just wrapping up a win at Lakeview. They're now 12-0. It's their best start since the 2014-15 season, when they won their first 22 games en route to a state championship appearance. Henley boys have the ball, meanwhile, to start the second half, and it's Owen Harper driving into the paint and scoring. 36-19, Ridgeview leads, 7:35 to go in the third quarter. Meilenberg pulls up from the right wing, and his shot airballs short. An official didn't like something on the inbound, so he's making Henley redo it. Bennett throws it into Hayes. Ridgeview still in a bit of a full court press. Henley able to get it across midcourt. Hayes loses the dribble, has to go back to midcourt to get it. Hayes on the left side, throws it to Montag up top. Hands it to Chris Janney. Hayes taking it in from the left side and scores. 36-21, Henley now trailing. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Three from the right corner is no good from Meilenberg. It's rebounded by Bennett, and away come the Hornets. Hayes pulls up from the right block and misses. Took a hop, skip, and a jump into the lane, but could not connect as Luke Bennett intercepts the outlet pass. Hands it over to Aiden Hayes, who brings it across midcourt on the left side. Spins, tries to hand it back to Bennett at the top of the key, but it's taken away by Nakamura, and Logan Nakamura is going to run the other way for an easy layup. 38-21. 6:24 to go in the third quarter. Oh, Bennett with a nice behind-the-back dribble to get by Nakamura. He drives in the right lane and gets, oh my goodness, that shot was obliterated by Brady Meilenberg. He said, get that out of here. The referee even had to dive out of the way. That one might have knocked him out if it had hit him in the wrong place. That's how hard he blocked that shot. Hornets keep it on the inbound. And a foul called as Luke Bennett pulled up for three from the right corner. First foul of the quarter called against Ridgeview as the inbound is tipped and stolen by Adam Millington. They give it to Nakamura. Nakamura drives, can't finish in the right lane, rebound, and a third putback attempt by Brady Meilenberg. Well, third total attempt, second putback attempt by Brady Meilenberg results in an and one. Meilenberg, again, standing 6'6". Really tough for Henley to contain in the paint without Marcus McCready. As he sinks the and one to get Ridgeview back up 20, 41-21. 5:52 to go in the third quarter as a pass in the front court goes out of bounds, so a turnover for Henley. Zach Asplin brings it up court. Over to Meilenberg on the left side. Throws it down low to a cutting Ryan Lee, who was wide open on the baseline. Easy backdoor finish, and the Ravens are up 43-21, 5:33 to go in the third quarter. Hayes drives through the paint, misses, but gets fouled, and he will head to the line for two. Aiden Hayes was part of the Henley boys soccer team that won their third straight Skyline Conference championship this fall. I'll try to help the Hornets basketball team win one this year. Certainly won't be easy if they're unable to have Marcus McCready and TJ Chavez fully healthy. Hayes missed both free throws, so it remains 43-21. Ridgeview on top. On the right wing, Whitmer up top. Meilenberg pulls up and connects. Well, we mentioned he could shoot the three. He's 6'6", but you don't want to leave him open on the perimeter. It's 46-21, Ridgeview, 5:03 to go in the third quarter. Bennett back to Montag in the right corner, hands it to Lane Frank on the right wing. Frank dribbles in and gets fouled. Lane Frank averaged 11.3 points at the Sisters shootout this weekend. And without the ability to get automatic buckets in the paint with Marcus McCready, Henley has been looking for him to be able to score from the outside. That time he was able to draw a foul in the paint, and he scores one from the free throw line. 46-22, Ridgeview leads, 4:49 to go in the third quarter. Left wing three comes up short for Wes Whitmer. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Ravens. Zach Asplin to inbound on the left side. Asplin. It's tipped into the hands of Meilenberg on the left wing. Throw it to Asplund in between the circles. Whitmer on the right wing, throws it down low to Asplund. Asplund kicks it to Hurtley, and an offensive foul is called as Chris Janney went down in the paint before Hurtley's three-point attempt. Third foul of the quarter on Ridgeview, fourth actually. One more will put Henley in the bonus. 4.5 minutes to go. Chris Janney inbounds it to Joe Janney and gets it back from him. Picked up by Hertley before midcourt. Janney hesitates, drives, loses the ball. On the floor, Meilenberg gets it. Outlet pass from Millington ahead to Wes Whitmer, driving along the right side of the baseline. Layup attempt comes up short. Henley has numbers, but the pass goes out of bounds. It'll go back to Ridgeview. Asplund dribbles it up the court. Asplund throws it to Meilenberg on the left wing. He dribbles in. Long two, misses. Joe Janney the rebound. Chris Janney in the right corner. Looking. Dribbles into the lane. Misses off the glass. Meilenberg, the outlet pass ahead to Whitmer. Pulls up from the right block and misses. 3.5 minutes to go in the third. It remains 46-22 Ridgeview. Joe Janney drives in the right lane, misses the layup. Millington the rebound. Ahead to Hertley. Hertley euros his way, but misses the layup. Put back, though, is good for Brady Meilenberg. 48-22. Ridgeview leads, 3:06 to go in the third quarter. Left corner, Montag dribbles in along the baseline and scores. And Luke Hammond takes the timeout. Ridgeview doubling up Henley with 2:59 to go in the third quarter. Ravens lead 48-24. Back, I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's start here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Welcome back. Henley down 24 to 5A Ridgeview. Coming out of this timeout here late in the third quarter. Ravens actually doubling up Henley. They lead 48-24, 2:59 on the clock. Hornets only trailed by 3 at the end of the first quarter. It was 14-11. They got outscored 22-6 in the second. Inbound in the backcourt to Zach Asplund, and we're back underway. On the right wing, Whitmer. They go up top. Now on the left wing, Zach Asplund. Back up top, Whitmer. Go in the paint, and the hook shot misses. Rebounded by Chris Janney and sent up to Bryson Montag, who brings it up the right side. Lane Frank on the right wing, thought about a 3. Instead, he'll drive, and his shot is blocked. That's another blocked shot in the paint as Henley is at a pretty big height disadvantage without Marcus McCready. Turned over on the left wing. Outlet pass ahead to Hertley. And he's fouled. No, he traveled. Well contested by Bryson Montag to force the travel. Chris Janney to inbound. Throws it to Joe Janney. Bennett on the right wing. Bryson Montag had it poked away from him, but it fell to Chris Janney. His shot is blocked by Meilenberg as he pulled up on the right block. Oh, my goodness. Meilenberg just, oof. He broke Chris Janney's ankles with a spin move, but Chris gets his revenge with a block. Rebound comes to Joe Janney. Luke Bennett at the top of the key. Tries to shake Meilenberg. Throws it to Lane Frank. His pull-up in the paint misses off the back of the rim. It is still 48-24 Ridgeview with 1:35 to go in the third quarter. Asplund in between the circles. In the right corner, Meilenberg. Back up to Asplund. Asplund driving through the right lane. Sends it off the side of the backboard, but gets it back. Throws it to Meilenberg in the right corner. He throws it to Jackson Hurtley in the right slot. Hurtley drives and kicks to Whitmer on the left wing. He comes in and pulls up from the left elbow and misses. Rebounded by Luke Bennett. Pass almost tipped and taken away, but finds its way to Chris Janney at midcourt. He gives it back to Bennett, who drives, step back, and that's a fairly easy travel call for the official. Both Janney brothers check out, as it looks like Aiden Hayes and Owen Harper are back in. Asplund brings it up. Now across midcourt, 47 seconds left in the quarter. Hurtley at the top of the key. Offensive foul. Well, that's going to be the 5th of the quarter, so that should put Henley on the free throw line. Referees are still lining up to have Henley inbound. Scoreboard says 5 fouls. Hayes brings it up the right side, drives through the lane, and Henley will get a trip to the line after all, as Hayes is fouled. 32.7 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's still a 24-point lead for Ridgeview. Hayes makes it 23 with the free throw. Peyton Lickner checking in for Bryson Montag. He's one of those reserves for Henley, not in the rotation. Seems to prime to get some good minutes here in the fourth quarter. Hayes missed the second free throw, and a three on the left wing came up short, or left corner rather, came up short for Jackson Hurtley. Henley can take the last possession of the quarter here. There's 15 seconds to go. Frank with it in the right corner, has to throw it behind him. It was headed out of bounds. It comes back up to Luke Bennett. Now Harper driving, kicking to Lickner, and his shot is blocked, but he's fouled by Brady Meilenberg. So Peyton Lickner, senior, new to Henley this year, makes the first free throw. Little correction there. That was actually Asplund who committed the foul, not Meilenberg. And Peyton Lickner goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So Henley trailing 48-27 as a three in the right corner misses off the left side of the rim. So we head to the fourth quarter with Ridgeview leading 48-27. I'm Matt Bowling. We'll be right back. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.9 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Henley trailing 48-27. Hornets trailed 38-17 at the half, or 36-17 rather, at the half. Third quarter, not quite as much damage done as Ridgeview only outscored them 12-10. They throw it into the paint where it's taken away by Luke Bennett. Aiden Hayes, Luke Bennett at the top of the key. Bennett drives in the right lane, misses the layup, rebounded by Owen Harper. Dribbles into the left corner, throws it to Hayes at the free throw line. He throws it to Luke Bennett in the right corner. Now it's Harper in the right short corner. Throws it down to the right block for Chris Janney. His shot is blocked by Millington. It comes back to Hurtley. Hurtley throws a lob to Gavin Lunan, who can't finish. Owen Harper gets the ball, throws it over to Aiden Hayes on the right side. Hayes looking to drive. Throws it to Montag, but it's off target and out of bounds. It'll go back to the Ravens. They inbound it to Logan Nakamura. Nakamura dribbles it up to the right slot. Bounces it to Gavin Lunan in the left slot. From the left corner to the right wing, Logan Nakamura misses a three. Hayes the other way. Aiden Hayes charging into the paint, missing the layup. Putback won't fall for Harper. Montag saves it from going out of bounds, gets it to Bennett up top. They throw to Harper on the left wing. Harper loses it behind his back. Gavin Lunan takes it the other way as a collision on the left wing. Pass goes out of bounds. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll be Ravens ball. Nakamura to inbound. On the left side. Bounces it into Lee, who can't get a good shot off. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay Ridgeview ball. Nakamura bounces it into Lee. On the left block, he dribbles it out to the left corner. Now kicks it to Lunan. Lunan pulls up from the free throw line and misses. Lee is there with the putback. It's 50-27 Ridgeview, 6:12 to go in the game. Hayes bounces to Janney. Janney kicks to Harper on the left block. He tried to throw it to Hayes in the right corner, but it was intercepted by Hurtley. Now here comes Nakamura. He misses the layup. Rebound is snatched up by Luke Bennett. Bennett trying to go coast to coast, but loses the handle as he goes up for the shot. Out of bounds, it'll be Ridgeview ball. 5:50 to go. Nakamura rockets a pass ahead to Hurtley in the left corner. Now he gets it back and splashes a three. 53-27 Ridgeview, 5:36 to go. Bennett throws it to Hayes, and he is fouled. First foul of the quarter. Aiden Hayes to inbound from the left side. Hayes throws it to Janney. Hayes gets it back in the paint. Turnaround jumper. That drops. Timeout called. We'll take 1-2. Ridgeview leads 53-29, 5:26 to go. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
During COVID, I gained over 24 pounds. I lost motivation in working out. I lost motivation in eating healthy. And for me, if I'm not active, I just don't eat well. But then I started taking a class at Harbor's gym called High Low. The first week I felt like I didn't fit in and I couldn't do it. But the instructor was so kind and thanked me for coming and told me how well I did. I was like, no, I wasn't, but it made me come back the next week and the next week. And soon enough, I was keeping up with the class. I started introducing more classes and then going Saturdays. I learned how to lift weights accurately with repetition. I started lifting on my own. I started golfing too with my husband. And all of a sudden, I was buying salads instead of sandwiches. Small victories happened week by week, and it's 100% because of Harbor, their staff, their gym, the golf. My husband is getting out of the house and working out with me. His golf game is increasing, we're lifting together, and we feel good. Harbor, where I lost my reins and got my gains.
Back underway here in the fourth quarter as a three from the right corner misses. It's rebounded by Bennett. And here comes Henley. Hayes on the right side kicks it to Janney for a left wing three that misses. Rebounded, controlled by Harper after it was tipped several times. Gets it to Luke Bennett, who dribbles in from the right wing, pulls up over three defenders and misses. But looks like Bryson Montag was fouled going for the rebound. So Henley will keep the ball. 4:46 to go. Hornets down 24. Janney in the left corner. Throws an interception to Logan Nakamura. Nakamura can't go coast to coast. Putback was no good for Hurtley. Rebound by Harper and a tie-up. Owen Harper to inbound. Bennett. Throws it to Montag. Janney on the left side. Up top it's Harper. Bennett still at the top of the key. Throws it to Janney in the paint. He bounces it down low to Owen Harper, who finishes. 53-31. Henley trails. 4:10 to go in this ball game. Pass bounces out off the leg of Luke Bennett on the far side. It'll stay with the Hornets. And again, the official didn't like something on the inbound. He's making Ridgeview redo it. Into the right corner. Back up top. Hurtley. Right corner three misses. Rebounded by Gavin Lunin. Can't get the putback. Janney scoops up the loose ball on the floor and dishes it to Montag, who lays it in on the other end. 53-33, 3:36 to go. Pass almost stolen by Hayes, and he commits the foul. Ridgeview will inbound from the left side. Hit to Hurtley. Up top, Lunin dribbling into the paint. Lunin kicks it out. Lunin gets it back, pulls up from just inside the arc and misses. Rebounded by Hurtley. Hurtley pulls up from the right block, and sinks it. 55-33, Ridgeview leads, 3:09 to go in the fourth quarter. Frank, three from the right slot, bang. A foul on the floor. I don't know if that was concurrent with the shot. It won't be a shooting foul. Henley will inbound. And it looks like we've got a timeout. We'll take one, too. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Welcome back. Coming out of this timeout. Welcome back. Coming out of this timeout, Henley trailing 55-36 here in the fourth quarter. 3:02 to go before we can pack it up and head home. Hornets put up a fight with a 7-player rotation, but it's tough enough as it is when you play up a class without losing 2 key players, as Aiden Hayes gets the putback to cut it to 55-38, 2:45 to go. 3-pointer misses for Ridgeview from the left wing, or left corner rather, and Bryson Montag gets fouled on the rebound. Bennett on the right wing. Hands it to Frank, top of the key. Harper, top of the key. Joe Janney on the right wing. Dribbles it onto the right elbow. Kicks it to Harper, who misses a 3 from the right wing. Rebound corralled by Montag, but given right back to Ridgeview. Pass ahead, and the lay-in is good. Well, we've reached the point where Ridgeview is putting in guys who aren't even on the roster. As since the first quarter, it's really just been total domination for the Ravens. Montag was fouled going up for a shot, so he'll head to the free throw line with 2:05 to go and his team trailing 57-38. Bryson Montag, we mentioned what an asset he is to Henley on defense as he makes the first free throw. And he was also a big asset to the Henley football team on defense. Helped the Hornets win that state championship. Had an interception in their semifinal win over Scappoose. Misses the second free throw, so it's 57-39. Ridgeview ahead with 1:51 to go. In the right corner. Now to Lunin, pulls up from the right short corner and knocks it down. The lone freshman on the varsity roster gets into the scorebook and puts his team back up 20 as Lane Frank's 3-point attempt comes up short from the top of the key. Outlet pass ahead to Logan McTaggart, who blows the lay-in. And a foul on the rebound. Finn Charlton is in now for Henley. And it looks like he'll head to the free throw line as the Hornets have gotten into the bonus. Finn Charlton, a two-way player. Also plays JV for the Hornets. Makes his first free throw. It was one of their call-ups after Marcus McCready and TJ Chavez went down. And he makes the second free throw. 59-41, 1:23 to go. They throw it into Lunin, and he gets the layup off the glass from the right block. 61-41, 1:10 to go. Montag's 3 off the mark, tipped out of bounds. It'll be Henley ball. They throw it in to Lichtner. Now Frank. Now Charlton from the right wing. Finn Charlton drives, hands it to Montag. He has it poked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hornets, 57 seconds to go. They throw it into Montag. Montag on the right elbow. Kicks it to Joe Janney up top. Lane Frank pulls a 3 from the left wing that misses. Rebounded and taken the other way by Ridgeview. Drive and a block by Joe Janney. Here comes Janney the other way. He hands it to Montag. They kick it up top. Wide open 3 comes up short for Finn Charlton. Outlet pass ahead for Ridgeview. And one. Nice play there by one of the Ravens reserves. Do they count the, yeah, they just added the basket to the scoreboard. So it does count. And the free throw misses. It's rebounded, though, by Logan McTaggart, and he's fouled. 21.7 seconds on the clock. Lunin in the right corner. Back up top to the right wing. Ridgeview can dribble it out, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. 63-41, the final. Ravens have already matched their win total from last season. Meanwhile, Henley will fall to 7-5, 1-3 without Marcus McCready, and 0-3 against 5A teams this season. We'll take a break, give you a little post-game wrap-up on the other side. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Corporate. At Clamfall Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clamfall Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clamfall Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
What defines me as a person, I love to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
5A Ravens. Hornets were always going to be up against it playing a 5A team on the road. But you throw in the loss of their sensational big man, Marcus McCready, as well as a key rotation player in TJ Chavez, who's actually their second tallest player at 6'4", while McCready is 6'7". And it was tough. It was tough for the Hornets tonight. They did hang in there for a quarter. They only trailed 14-11 after one. Ridgeview, though, able to blow it open in the second. Outscored Henley 22-6 to go up 36-17 at halftime. And they just kept it open. 22-point win for Ridgeview, as they have already matched last season's win total with their 7th win of the season. Shaping up to be an excellent first season for their first-year head coach, Marty Lunan. Well-known player around these parts, played at Redmond and at Oregon before embarking on a 13-year European pro career. All right, we're going to take one more break. When we come back, I'll tell you what's next for Henley. Don't go away just yet. I'm Matt Bowling. You're listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
All right, welcome back. Next up, Henley heads to the Sky M Skyline crossover this Saturday. They'll be playing at Junction City High School, where they'll face Marshfield. Marshfield currently 8-4, but the Pirates are going to be playing back-to-back games. That game against Henley is going to be the second leg of a back-to-back, as they host as Marshfield hosts Klamath Union at 7 o'clock on Friday before playing Henley at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So good chance for the Hornets to potentially get a win there against a team that's almost certain to be a lot less fresh than they are. So, once again, your final score here, Ridgeview 63, Henley 41. As we get ready to pack it in here, we will be bringing you, of course, Henley's game against Marshfield at the Sky M Skyline crossover. It will be a video-only stream on mybasin.com. It will not air on 104.3 and 960 Sports because of a conflict with Oregon Tech women's basketball. Once again, that game is going to start at 2 o'clock this Saturday from Junction City High School. And from Ridgeview High School, one more time, I am Matt Bowling saying good night, and thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Ridgeview 63, Henley 41, your final once again. You've been listening to Henley Basketball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.